And welcome back to another live episode of the Relevant Recruiter Show. Today we are going to be talking about digital marketing strategies and 5 specific strategies that every recruiting agency needs to know. So if you're there with me live, go ahead and give me a like, give me a comment, let me know that you can hear me as we get this thing rolling. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. So just very basic, what is digital marketing? It's essentially falls under the umbrella of online marketing, right? And ultimately, it's all activities and engagements across any online media channels. So there's your basic definition of digital marketing if you weren't aware, which I'm sure that most of you are at this point. The ultimate role of your digital marketing strategy is basically to get found, right? One of the biggest challenges facing recruiting companies is obscurity, your audience even knowing that you exist, and digital marketing is a great way to get found, get noticed, turn those, that awareness into leads, and then turn those leads into paying customers. So I think, my experience working in this industry over the last 6 years is there's a lot of people that have bought into the online digital part, and there's a lot of people that are still old school trying to buy into it. And one of the reasons why you want to make this complete leap and jump all the way into digital marketing is because people are on their phones and on the web pretty much 24/7 nowadays. Um, if you saw the post that I shared to promote today's live, I shared that 81% of consumers are spending an average of almost 9 hours a day online. 9 hours a day online. So you have an audience out there that's waiting for you. 97% of people go online to find products or services. So the question you have to ask yourself is like, are you there? Are you present? Are you the one that people are seeing, that people know exist? Um, are you the go-to in your space? Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of just dive through these 5 strategies, and there is a difference, and it's nothing that we'll solve on this call, so to speak, but there's a big difference between, or I don't want to say a difference, but there is a, you know, should be a different focus for each individual recruiting company, because everybody has different things that are already in place. Um, so to kind of start with, I think the most easy low hanging fruit is really email. Every recruiting company should have a good email strategy. Now let's dig into this a little bit more. Email, traditionally in this industry, is kind of goes down that cold email path. And what I mean by cold email is where you guys know the tools that are out there now, Seek Out and Interseller and all these different tools that basically provide you with data, and then you put people through drip campaigns. Um, that's kind of probably the most common email strategy, whether you're having an individual going and finding the contact information, or if you're using one of these third-party services. Zoom Info being another one, where you're getting data and then just putting clients and candidates through drip campaign. So I think that's one way that I think this industry is fully kind of adapted to the digital marketing. But I think where the bigger opportunity actually comes into play is being able to develop more of a warm list of prospects, and then taking and adding value to that warmer list of prospects. So the easiest way for any recruiting company to start with this is simply just gathering the information of all their existing clients and all their existing candidates, and building the database that way. These are people that know you already, have a sense of what you do, the value you bring to the table, because that's really where we can start nurturing to get more repeat business, as well as get more referrals from our market. Now, you want to have a plan in place to be able to grow your email list. And one of the easiest ways to do that is taking the people that are interested through your drip campaigns, but maybe not right now, and go ahead and put them onto more of a nurture database. But the other way is to actually build out lead magnets. And if you're not familiar with a lead magnet is basically going to be an ebook, a webinar, a survey of some sort. Ultimately, if you're going to build a lead magnet, you want to build, a resource that your market just cannot resist. And I'll tell you, one of the things that's really valuable is building salary guides for specific industries. Every hiring manager wants to know what they should be paying. Every candidate wants to know what they should be getting paid. All right. So it's a valuable resource that your market can really, you know, um, attached to you, and it's a great way to exchange some information. So that's how you build the email list. Okay, and that's a great place to start if you don't have anything going on. All right, the next thing kind of comes into content marketing slash, I kind of put them in the same bucket, content marketing and social media. um, Content marketing, is essentially going to be kind of more your longer form stuff, your blogs, your articles, your white papers, etc. But really having a good content presence across your social media channels, I think, is critically important. The most important channel for most of us is LinkedIn. Now, when I say most of us, is because not everybody's audience is on LinkedIn. And one of the most fundamental things of marketing is hanging out where your target market's at, period. So if your target market's on LinkedIn, then great. You need to double down and have a great, great presence on LinkedIn. If it's not, then you need to find what social media channel your market's hanging out on, because really there's somebody somewhere, right? There's a lot of Facebook groups are great places to find clients and candidates. If you're in the creative space, you might be looking at people on Pinterest. There's so many different platforms, but ultimately, if you just kind of make it as simple as possible, you just want to hang out where your target market's hanging out. And then you would have a consistent strategy through the content. Now, why do you take the time to create content? Because content is one things that allows you to show your market exactly what you do, how you do it differently, rather than just being another person that says you're good. You actually get to the opportunity to show your market, what good looks like. So, I would say if you don't have a consistent content marketing strategy for your recruiting firm yet, that's something you're going to put into place. Because what happens through time, if you do this consistently and you do this right, then you start to get inbound traffic and inbound leads, as well as just building a stronger presence. A lot of the results that my clients will get actually comes when they're doing other forms of outreach, and that makes your calls and your prospects more receptive and much warmer. So even if you're still picking up the phone and doing kind of an outbound dialing strategy, if you're incorporating some content marketing on top, I can't tell you how many of my clients go, man, every time I get on one of my phone calls, my my prospect is telling me how much they're seeing my presence online. So there's a lot of benefits to having a strong content marketing strategy. The next thing would be, do you want to go down the route of paid advertising funnels? Okay, so just to kind of draw this out for you, a marketing funnel is usually going to start somewhere, again, with probably some sort of a lead magnet. And then I'm going to take that lead magnet. It's going to be hosted on a landing page. I'm going to drive all of my traffic to the landing page. Once somebody gets that, puts in their information, they're going to get that lead magnet, but then they're also going to be triggered into an email, campaign. And this is like an overall high level of a funnel, right? And the challenge with the funnel is getting traffic to a funnel. Anytime you do a launch, you usually have a good start because there's eyeballs there. But once the launch is over, how do you get consistent new people into your funnel all day long? And that's where paid advertising comes into play. So again, you're going to kind of look at where does your audience hang out, and then you're going to use money to drive eyeballs. I would say this is probably one of the things that you would want to do later in the game. Because in this industry, it's not near as easy, or I don't know in any industry that it's easy to get paid advertising to truly work at the level you want. And paid advertising, in my opinion, should be something where you're going to put $1 in and you're going to get a couple bucks that spits back out at it. It's not about remarketing. It's not about branding. It's actually, I want to pay money to put my stuff in front of this audience and get this audience to take a specific action with me. Okay. And so I think that a funnel should be a part of your strategy. It's just a matter of when you want to implement that and take it to play. Now, the beauty of a funnel is once you get it right, then you basically have a full-time employee. That employee you're just paying a digital platform to drive traffic and get consistent lead flow coming into your business. And that's one of the beautiful things is, again, once you get it right, then you have consistency. So digging into a paid ad strategy and a paid funnel is definitely one of those things that you're going to want to explore at a certain time. And again, this kind of goes back, in order to make this effective, you need to make sure that you're providing a resource that your market just can't refuse. Okay. Let's talk about websites. All right. Websites are incredibly important. The question becomes, when do you go all in on your website? So if you're just starting, yes, you need some sort of a website. But when you're just starting, I don't know that it's the best to allocate $15,000 to $20,000 of your budget to one of these badass websites. Now, I think at a certain point in time, yeah, you're going to want to invest good money into a site that's got incredible design, because design actually makes a huge impact. But when you're just getting started, your website doesn't necessarily isn't going to necessarily generate revenue, right? Most websites have zero traffic strategy, and as a result of that, they're beautiful, they're nice, but they're sitting in cyberspace and they're not getting any relevant audience visiting it on a regular basis. So even before you develop your website, what you have to ask yourself is, what is my plan to get people to actually go here? If not, you're going to spend a nice, chunk of money for this, asset to sit in cyberspace and have 10 people visit it every single month. So in the case of a website, I think that's something that comes when you have other systems built. For most recruiters, what they actually need is leads more than they need a fancy website. They need more opportunities with clients, more opportunities with candidates. And some of these other strategies that I've mentioned are going to create those opportunities faster for them, which in turn allows me to develop more revenue into my recruiting business. And once I have more revenue, then I can invest into these other things. So don't get me twisted. Yes, you do need a website, but when you go all in and build that big, robust website, probably something that you're going to do a little bit further down the road. I can't tell you how many people that I speak to that have built beautiful, websites, do it right out of the gate. But then, like I said, they're just sitting there and they're not seeing a result of that. Okay. So that kind of goes into the last, last, so to speak here, which is search engine optimization, SEO. Okay. I work and speak to, several hundred, if not 1,000 firms per year at some level or capacity. And the question of, does SEO work? Yeah, it works. The big question though is how quality are the leads that you're getting? And from my experience, doing this for people at times, and then actually just speaking with a lot of people with their own experiences, SEO is hard. One, SEO is expensive. If you're going to have it done properly, it's going to cost you a good chunk of money. So again, do I think SEO should be a part of your game plan? Yeah, but I think it's one of those things, in my opinion, I would be bolting on later. And two, the other thing with SEO that kind of comes into play is how quality, for example, are the candidates that are going to be coming and submitting their stuff. So even though you're able to rank, you have to ask yourself who's actually doing the searching. And on the candidate side, and this doesn't ring true for every industry. In some industries, this could be a great strategy, right? But on the candidate side, with a lot of the recruiters I work with, are usually looking for more of a passive candidate. And usually, passive candidates aren't doing searches. They're not searching for a job. They're waiting for somebody to reach out to them, so to speak, right? So usually, if you're just using logic here, the ones that are actually doing searches are the folks that are that aren't employed or looking for a job change. And I'm not saying that those aren't qualified people all the time. You would know better about that in your industry, but that's something you have to kind of keep in mind, is who's actually going to be doing the searching. On the flip side, on the client side, it's not to say that you can't, pick up clients through SEO, but then the other question you need to ask yourself is, well, how many clients do I think are searching for recruiting firms? And, or do I want to be the firm that's waiting for a client to react, or do I want to be a firm that's on the attack, right? Going out, disrupting the CEO with our content, with our prospecting strategies through LinkedIn, through email, to actually make the CEO aware that we exist. And that's where most, hiring managers, hiring decision makers, CEOs, et cetera, they already have people that are reaching out to them. So, a strategy of waiting for search engine optimization to work, it's probably not one that I would lean on. Definitely not in the beginning. So of all of these things, I think they all need to be a part of your strategy, like I said in the beginning. But the question becomes is, which one do I start with? And if you're on this digital marketing, journey right now, and you're either, hey, haven't even really taken the plunge, or B, you have taken the plunge, but you haven't seen the results from it, I'd love to offer you a free strategy session. I can do a complete audit on what your digital marketing strategy looks like, or what your digital marketing strategy should look like, and get you clarity on what next steps you should take specifically for your firm, because every firm is a little bit different. Everybody that comes to me is a little bit different, and where they should start with this whole thing. And, I'll happily share my years of advice helping recruiting companies do this, and help you, short track and eliminate some of the, mistakes that some of my previous clients have made, some of the mistakes that I've made over the years doing this digital marketing digital marketing things. So those are the five things, five crucial components that I think that every recruiting company should have. So again, that would be a great email marketing strategy. I think, at a certain point in time, you're going to want to make sure you go all in on your website and have great design as being a part of that. I think paid funnels are a good thing. Again, when the time is right, search engine optimization is great. Now, one thing I didn't really dive into, and here I am, but video marketing is another strategy that needs to be a part of the game plan. And video marketing is one of those that you really can't start soon enough. A lot of people come to me because of I do these videos on a regular basis. I add value to the marketplace on a regular basis, but not only am I adding value, you guys are getting to know me as a person. You guys are getting to know my personality, and I'm breaking a barrier down. And it's not just me; other people that doing video marketing. You break a barrier down with your audience. In my opinion, it's the quickest way to get somebody to know, like, and trust you outside of course, a face-to-face meeting. But there's no other way for you guys to really get to know me, my personality, who I am, how I might show up on a daily basis, just through some of my written content. It gives you an idea, but nothing shares that more than doing video marketing just like this. So again, if you are looking to take your digital marketing strategy to the next level for your recruiting business, reach out to me, drop a comment below, send me a direct message, and I will happily get on the phone with you, talk to you, figure out where you're at now, where you're looking to go, help you eliminate some of those mistakes, and put together a plan that you can use that'll actually attract clients and candidates to your business on a consistent basis. The question now is not, do I need to have a digital marketing strategy? It's no longer the question anymore. It's what you need to start with, what you need to double down with, because if you don't have a digital marketing strategy, unless you're one of these old guys, and I shouldn't say that, the old dogs, the guys that have been in this game for a long time that have a customer list that's a mile long, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to somebody that's growing a business right now that might be feeling like the struggles of their pipeline. They might feel like, where's their next client come from? Digital marketing is something you need to double down on, because the future is going to be where all the decisions are made. 97% of people, again, make a decision online or shop for a product or service online. Okay. 81% of people are spending 8-9 hours a day. Where are you in this process? This isn't a discussion of if you should do this anymore. You need to start now. So this is Donnie Gupton. Hopefully this video was valuable for you. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to hang out with me here, and I will see you real soon.